The multiplicative power of compounding has powerful effects, whether in wealth, building an audience, or just acquiring skill moving forward in life. I'm going to discuss all the thoughts I have around that today in today's video. Now, if we've never met before, hi. My name is Duncan Alderdice, and in this series, I make short videos in the morning as I walk and talk through the thoughts I'm having as I try to put my life back together again. And if I saw you yesterday, good day. Okay, so here's what we're starting with is, okay, obviously there's the money one. The money one, which is like, okay, if you invest $1,000 at the age of 20, by the age of 50, and like you have invested in the S&P market, because it grows by 10% a year, depending on where it is, that at first, like 1 times 1.1, which is how you do the math, is like, that's only $1.10. Then the next year it's going to be like, okay, well, now it's $1.21. You're only increasing by like 10, 11 cents each year, but you keep pushing that forward down 30 years. I don't know the math specifically, but the increase in the value of what you had the year 29 to 30 is like closer. I think it's like probably like it increases by about $30,000. So I'm gonna do the math on that. But the point with that is wealth a lot of the time is one of those math things that you're not seeing a return that's impressive for the first bit, but that's because you just gotta keep waiting for something while the math just maths itself out. The other way that you can see that though is with a skill, and like if you're, I don't know, the thing I think about, because that's the world that I'm in, there's like sales calls, is that if you're cold calling, for example, the first 100 cold calls you make might not be very good, and they might result in the same failure in terms of the person hanging up on you or saying no, that they're not interested. But you might have made some improvements. Say at the beginning you were very shaky, and so that's why people weren't listening to you, and so they'd hang up. But then you got rid of the shake in your voice and you actually had some certainty in your voice, right? So then they didn't hang up at the beginning, but they still hung up later. The thing I'm pointing to it though is you made improvements, you worked on it, but you're not getting that big glory sort of win that is ultimately what it is that you were looking for. But if you keep doing it for long enough, at one point you will figure out, oh, this is how I open the call, this is how I keep them interested, this is how I am aware, how I keep them on the phone even when they might show some initial hesitation at the beginning, and this is how they book the demo or close the deal. At that point, then it's like, oh, that's a huge win. But once you figured out how to do it once, doing it the second time is so much easier. So then your returns on the investment, like you were putting in the same amount of work, but the output was just being hung up on, now turns into booked sales meetings. That's like the same thing of going like, well, 10% increase on $1 is 10 cents, but a 10% increase on $1 million is 100,000. It's like, bang, Bob's your uncle, unless it's Daryl. Then the third thing that this is more fly in my eye, relevant to what it is that I'm doing, which is this daily sort of series thing of, okay, well, so if I'm making these videos and right now they are getting maybe 1 to 5 views over the course of a week or a month after they're out, that doesn't seem like that they're not doing very well. Like, that's not an indication that I'm having success, and that energizes me in terms of going like, oh, I'm gonna make so much money doing this, or not even so much money, but I'm just having success. What is cool though is that's a helicopter. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, what is the helicopter doing here? The sun is so bright. Turns out when you stare at the sun, it does not take exponential time to make your eyes hurt. It's immediately. It's immediately. Talking like a kid. that's what the signal I would be getting from the videos is that there's not much success with it. But by the same token, if that is what it looks like at the beginning while you're building a community, as well as the YouTube algorithm figuring out and really dialing in what the type of audience it should put these videos in front of their eyeballs, as well as maybe the content isn't good enough. And I would rather think it that way than something's working against me. Because if it's I'm not good enough at making content, well, I can fix that. I can't fix the world. But so then that's where it's the same thing with the sort of cold call thing. Like, if the hook is good, how do I make a better hook? Well, I got to practice it. I got to look into those sort of things. Maybe once I figure out how to do that, what is the topics that people like doing? Because it seems like the algorithm is less of a do topics all over the place, but kind of have the same message that people tune in for you for when they need it. And things of that nature of going like, well, I might not have figured out how to make a banger video, but that's okay. But that's not an indication to stop. As well as the same power law dynamics of if there's one loyal follower and every month your viewership increases by 10%, the first month it was only increased by 1.1, which from a math standpoint, you don't have 10% of a human being. Okay, but so that's not a reason to stop. That's a reason just to know and identify what kind of task you're doing. What am I trying to say? It's important because of the multiplicative power of compounding. Yes. One thing you want to identify when you're going on whatever venture it is this a linear progression type thing? Or is this going to be a exponential progression, like a whoosh rather than a because when you're having success, well, I'm talking to me right now. If you're not having immediate success and the success that you think you should deserve or want to be having, that might be because you're just too early in the process. And so one thing I looked up specifically related to like building channels, because like the wealth thing is the money thing makes sense because you can just do the math on that. The daily upload style, there's people who have been doing it for a half decade or 10 years, and that it will say specifically, and this is what Gemini was, and the little research I went into it said that it would take a year for them of continuous uploads for the algorithm to really dial in the type of audience member who is looking for this, which means the algorithm is on my side if I keep giving it information. And what it also means is, I shouldn't have turned around so quickly. See, look at those, another example. Now I've lost my train of thought. Hold on, we're bringing it back. It's dancing around. That's the amount of work that it actually requires, but it was fantastic to see that because it was not disheartening, but it was just a better expectation to set of like you've been doing a daily journal style documentary, whatever you want to call it, for a month. It's like, yeah, fucking no one has success if you do that. So then, so then I'm at the stage where the success I'm having, any amount of views is a success. That was yesterday I looked and saw the first video of this. In the last 28 days, got 10 views. Since its lifetime, it's got like 217 or something like somewhere around 200. Average view duration for the lifetime of the video is like 9.8%. So like people are clicking on and clicking off. But for these past 10 views, average view duration was 50%. So that's very interesting. Because it's like, would you rather 200 views where on average people only watch for 9% through, or a 20th of the views, so 10 views, but half of them watched pretty much all the way to that watched halfway. It's like that shows that something different is at play, and we're still trying to figure out, 1, what the channel is about, 2, how to make a good video, and 3, whose eyeballs this should be put in front of. Again, identifying the type of task that you got, and then reminding yourself of that when you don't see, when you're not seeing the success that you want to be seeing early on, and it's kind of like that same, like, yes, like, this is what hard feels like, is what hard looks like. It's expected that you don't, if you succeed too early, you're doing it wrong. It's a fluke, more likely. If you're not succeeding early on, like, then you're doing it right. You need to find a way how to say you without it coming across as I'm telling you what to do, and more me just having the realization. I wonder if just looking this way versus at the camera is going to change it, or if that's an issue. But in any case, those are the thoughts I'm having right now. And if you've been watching to the end, I appreciate you. And I know you know this already, but I'll say it again. Is that desire is what drives you forward. The pain you're going through is necessary. That is why you need to believe in yourself, because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. Lean in, aim up, and move forward. Yes, you can. Yes, you will.